Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today as our guest of honor at HR and Innovation Summit. This is the first podcast that we have started, Brain
Okay.
Talks with the Brainalytics, and we are really, really honored to have you as
It's all my
the
pleasure.
speaker. And first of all, I would like to say what an interesting session it was, sir. Definitely, we wanted some spiritual leader only to be here today because HR is one such role which bridges the communication between the employees and the management. And leaders like you and the mentors like you are the right fit to deliver interesting and insightful sessions so that we gain insights and they also gain some insights. Of course, we have industry speakers coming in and talking. So it's all about technology, it's all about the way of work. But what you taught us today from Geeta was something that needs to be learned and imbibed not just by HR leaders, but co founders and startups like us as well.
Thank you.
So I was just going through a LinkedIn profile yesterday where I shared a connection with you. I saw that you are an electrical and computer engineer from OU State of University, and you also worked as a research engineer for a long time. One question that, of course, clicked me was the transformation journey. Why ISKCON and why are you what are you today?
What happened? Precisely what we were talking in the
Yes.
session. So how the transformation took place? Well, I would say that's a surprise for me also. I never went to America with that intention. I went to America just like anyone and everyone goes to America to study, become successful. However, before leaving for America, the life took a turn of, I would say, just a little bit turn of events. Just a year before leaving for America, I, along with my friend, had happened to travel to Munnar, Kerala, through hitchhiking, and we were coming back. And I had a lot of questions at that point of time in life because, as a college student, we see so many things around. I happened to be sitting in a bus, and a person in this kind of an attire came and sat next to me. Uh, his story, his words inspired me a lot. He answered all my queries. Long story short, his journey was particularly very inspiring because he was a teacher. He had come to Munnar to teach Ramayana to the students that he had in his Gurukul. And in his personal life, he was born to a Muslim father and a Hindu mother in a small town in Andhra Pradesh. And he said, Mayank, I have read Bible, I have read Quran, I have read Torah, I have read all the books, I have read Vedic literatures, I have read Mahabharata, Ramayana, everything. He said all these are subsets of Vedic knowledge. Because I had a lot of questions, so he requested me, he said, because you have a lot of questions, I have a request. Please read Bhagavad Gita. It is that one book which will answer all your questions. The second thing that he said, very soon you're going to see the glories of Vedic culture all over the world. And now that was kind of a prophecy. I never expected that. And one year later or something, I ended up in America. It turned out to be 2nd September 2007. And that was the day of Janmashtami, which was not known to me.
Amazing.
Because I was just kind of trying to settle down in America, find a house. So I was outside on the porch, signing a lease with the owner. And right across the lane, there was another house. They were all townhomes. And a family came out. They were American. And the man wore a beautiful dhoti kurta. The lady wore a sari, had two kids. And the moment I saw them, the words began to echo. Very soon you will see the glories of Vedic culture all over the world. I immediately signed up the paper. I started following them. And coincidentally, fortunately, they just came behind my house in another bungalow. They entered there, I entered behind them. The moment I entered, I saw there were people from all over the world. They all dressed up, which even in India have never dressed like. And there was a townhouse. We entered inside the townhouse, and turned out to be it was ISKCON's temple, and it was Krishna Janmashtami. The moment I entered, there was this library of Bhagavad Gita. So immediately I was reminded of the sage had asked me to read Bhagavad Gita. I picked up the copy of Bhagavad Gita, and that's how the life started.
Amazing. So these were the signals I would say you got from Lord Krishna, maybe.
So yeah,
driving you choosing this path of transformation journey.
And then all credit goes to ISKCON, credit goes to Srila Prabhupada for creating this worldwide community, beautiful devotees, beautiful books, prasadam. Once you got connected, you got hooked. There was nothing that can take you away.
Exactly. Amazing. we should learn from these kind of journeys. Wish we could be part of this journey. Great. So, another thing that comes into my mind, what makes you stay so grounded? Of course, I heard the question that the person asked you, we need to start with us and then we can incorporate and tell people. So, mindfulness, that what you spoke about. So, as a leader, as a mentor, as a director of Evolve Pune, what keeps you so grounded?
The way the Lord have designed this creation, there would always be some people to keep you grounded. You don't have to at times make an effort. We often say that be humble or be ready to be humbled by the material nature. And that would be really painful. So, coming to jokes apart, coming to the practical side of it, always asking this question, why I am doing what I am doing? Why am I a monk? Why have I come here? Why am I speaking to you? What's the purpose behind it? So, if I can align with my original purpose because of which I took about this radical change in my life, then I can stay grounded. Because I left that whole life of, you can say, opulence, opportunity, and whatnot to live a simple life in a monastery was for higher purpose. So, realigning ourselves again and again with the purpose, that helps us to remain grounded. Second thing that can be really helpful and that really helps us is again mindfulness,
Exactly.
which means at all times, in all situations, we make sure we don't miss out on our morning routine of connecting with the Supreme Lord, going through our meditation. Because if that doesn't happen, then we'll get disconnected. The moment we get disconnected by the grace, then we get connected with our own false ego. And then the false ego takes us on a ride. So, how to remain grounded? I would say two parts. Always remember what's your purpose, why I am here. And second thing, never skip your spiritual meditation. That keeps us, or that teaches us mindfulness, that helps cultivate mindfulness. And that's how we can remain grounded. The purpose for which we have joined is to serve, is not to take service from others, is to love, not to exploit others. If that is in the forefront of our activities, we can remain grounded.
Absolutely, rightly said. So that one word when you said on stage mindfulness, and you spoke about if you need to be ahead of the competition, you need to be an early riser. Because I am not a great early riser, but yes, 6 o'clock is what we rise. But yes, most of the time we think that if I rise by 4 o'clock, I have 2 hours
Yeah,
extra to
precious
plan
hours.
my things. But to be very honest, it does not happen. But today, after hearing you, I was just thinking, why not this? As a co-founder and as a leader in my organization, we have a team of 30 wonderful people. So to lead them, to guide them, I should be a bit ahead of them in planning my entire day so that I can help them planning their day.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
Got you
thank
back.
you. That one word really incorporated in my mind. I have. So I look forward. You can just follow that, and that would be great. So my one quick question would be: what was your idea without for Evolve Pune? Of course, you got into spirituality, but why Evolve Pune?
Traditionally, people have had an idea about spirituality is, something. It would be a monologue. It will be boring. It will be dry. So we wanted to create a forum which is more oriented for urban audience, for Gen Z, as we were
Yeah,
talking about,
right.
which could relate to them. They could identify. So often people travel to temple to get something. So we thought, why don't we create a forum where we travel to them? We travel to the colleges, we travel to the corporate houses, we travel to the societies. We try to give them an experience of the culture, the rich culture that we have in their own places, in their homes, in their own colleges, in their own offices, rather than they coming to us. Because nobody has a time for that. So therefore we thought blending the ancient wisdom with a modern lifestyle and creating a platform where people can find some relevance. Second thing, the idea behind Valpone was if you're connected to institution, there are both things with it. You have an advantage and a disadvantage. There are always people who are rumor mongering, and there are always people who are spreading negativity. Now,
Correct.
ISKCON is a worldwide institution, more than 50 years around. So there are a lot of good news, and there could be some bad news. So those bad news or those rumors can always discourage some good people to become part of it. So I thought, why not we just let go of that identity, but let's keep the wisdom intact and let people hear us first. Let meet us first. Once they meet us, they will realize what's our backgrounds, and then they'll be
Exactly.
more acceptable. They will be more willing to accept what we're talking. That was the whole idea of creating this forum called as Evolve Pune for the
Amazing,
open
amazing.
audience.
That's nice.
And the
Also,
last thing,
yeah.
not to miss out, and also create an online platform. Evolve
Oh,
Pune is an online platform where they can go on the Evolve Pune website, they can sign up for courses, many other things. And the
exactly.
online platform also was another thing for which we created. Yeah.
Lovely. So this is something great where Evolve Pune works for the corporate team, imbibing spiritual qualities and understanding so many important aspects that we miss in this hush hush. We are just in this crazy competition, like it's rat race actually. So, what are the some qualities of Bhagavad Gita that you think that personally you imbibe from them
I would
as a
not,
leader?
yeah, I would not say I imbibe. I would say I try to practice it
Okay,
to my best capacity, and I'm still trying to improve. And that's how I see my journey to keep improving. So, in any capacity of a role of a leadership, the very foremost instruction that comes out is Yat Yat Acharati Shreshtas Tat Tat Evata Rajana. A leader has to set an example. As we were talking about integrity today, you cannot demand something unless you follow yourself.
exactly.
So that's the first thing that we need to do it. So that's the first instruction that I try to follow to best of my capacity. Second thing, for a leader, it's very important to be equipped. Sukhe dukhe samekritva labha labha jaya jaya. Krishna says, be equipped. When there is success, don't get too thrilled by it, but that's not going to last forever. Similarly, when there is a failure, don't get too discouraged and disappointed, because that's also not going to last forever. So if you're not equipped, you cannot deal with, and as a being a leader, you have to make tough choices, tough decisions all the time.
Absolutely.
So you need to have some control on yourself. So as Krishna says, be equipped. And third, which I could think, is mindfulness again.
Yeah,
Because to be able to make decisions, making decision, everyone can do it. But leader is one who can make the right decision in the shortest period of time. But that's where the cutthroat competition, that's where, not the cutthroat competition, that's where you have a cutting edge. Because you can make the right decision in the short period of time. For to be able to do that, you have to have a higher degree of self-awareness. You need to be aware what's going on. You need to have some amount of control on your mind. You cannot allow mind to take you on a ride and help take you on a ride in the sense binge watching. You're sitting and just going through one Netflix video after one another Netflix video, but there are tons of emails waiting for your response. So mindfulness, practice of mindfulness, having some culture of meditation in a daily life, that would be the third thing that I can think is very important, which I try to do it.
absolutely. We often go to ISKCON temple personally also. So this one word when I started getting in touch with a lot of Prabhujis, the one word that was taught to me when I was around 17 or 18 years old, consciousness. So I think this is something. So I wanted to understand since we're talking a lot about mindfulness, how is it different? How are they both related? Consciousness and mindfulness. This is not the thing that I
Yeah.
thought, but since we are having a conversation,
Consciousness is the foundation of our existence. So we are a living being because we are conscious being. The table does not have a consciousness. That's the
exactly,
difference between non-living and
I'm
living.
living.
And this living we call as a dead person when the consciousness is missing. So the foundation of life is consciousness. So just like we nurture this body by eating, we nurture our intelligence by reading or hearing things. Similarly, we nurture our consciousness with right association. Therefore, it's extremely important how we utilize our energy. We have a given quota of energy. We can waste that energy in gossiping, in speaking negativity or spreading negativity and destroy our own consciousness with that. Or we can use the quota of energy for uplifting ourselves and for uplifting others and developing our consciousness. But for that to happen, we need at least one touch of good association. Who is developed in their own consciousness, who are evolved in their consciousness, or we can say in the modern term, self awareness. When you come in contact with such people, or when you keep in constant touch with such people, you would be inspired despite challenges that life may throw at you, discourage you, that you have other things to take care. But when you remain in constant touch with them, seeing their personal example will inspire you to also take out time for those things. Because that's about your personal well being, your professional well being, and also social well being. because evolving our consciousness is one of the most important thing, or understanding who we are, or
Exactly.
cultivating self-awareness, I would say, is the most important thing that everyone should be working at.
Most important, and at times I think most difficult also, because you need a lot of, I don't know what, but yes, having that consciousness that you rightly
You
said.
just need a touch of one good person,
That
constant in
yes,
life.
yes, exactly,
A right influencer in the age
absolutely.
of influencers.
Yes, the right influencer is a requirement. So yes, now of course, thank you so much for your time and giving us this interesting insights. I have just quick spiritual fun rapid fire. Of course, I have questions noted down. So just four, and we'll make it very quick. One quality of Lord Krishna that you wish to embody.
Oh, that's a difficult question. I would say in my personal life, integrity. Whatever Krishna says, he does it. In terms of my relationship, becoming dependable, where people can count on me. In terms of professional life, being kind and considerate. And most importantly, being a good listener. Krishna heard a
Absolutely.
lot from Arjuna.
That's yeah, of course. Great. The most challenging verse in the Gita to live by.
There are many.
Yeah,
For me, I would say being equipoised, balancing emotions. Unless you learn to balance emotion, you can't guide others. And for in general, where everyone struggles is with the famous shloka, Karmanevadikaraste mafalishu kadachan. Do your duty and be detached from the results.
okay,
That
yes,
in general is very difficult
yes,
because we are by default too attached to the idea of results. To practice
that
it
is true.
requires effort.
We work so hard and we are so attached to result that we want to achieve it.
And we just cannot think that we can even work without being attached to the results.
Absolutely. This I agreed to the core. If Arjuna had a LinkedIn headline today, what would it be?
A military warrior turned mindful leader.
Wow. A military warrior turns mindful leader. Amazing. One mantra everyone should chant at least once in their lifetime.
We can both try to do that.
Of course.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram, Ram
Rama Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. And just to conclude with this, what this prayer is a prayer as taught to us by Srila Prabhupada Ji, is a prayer to the Lord Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, that all our lives, life after life, you have been giving us, without any consideration, out of your kindness. Let this life, let's change the equation. Please give me service opportunity and allow me to serve you rather than taking service from you, which you anyways are doing. So a relationship has to be two ways, cannot be one way. So if we really want to develop a relationship with God, we also have to ask a question: how am I serving Him? That's the meaning of this mantra.
Lovely. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much once again. I'm really, really obliged, and I think I'm lucky also to have you. And my first podcast series is on spirituality. This is the best thing that could ever happen to the startups like us, rather than just going behind the CIOs and CTOs. No offense, but yes, spirituality should be here for people like us. And of course, Gen Zs need to learn a lot today, because my team is also kind of a Gen Z. So taking care of them is hard, but they are a quick learner as well today.
Yeah, quick. Great.
Yeah. So Hare Krishna, thank you so much once
Thank
again.
you.
It was
Thank you
amazing.
to
having you.
Brainalytics for hosting me, inviting me. Thank you so much.